Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Black Ops 2 In Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the KSG shotgun, and I'm going a little bit outside of the unlock order today because I get a lot of questions about the KSG. It gets accused of being either overpowered or inconsistent, best, worst, a lot of confusing things about it, so I figured I might as well clear everything up and talk about this shotgun first. The gameplay that you're seeing is probably my second or third game using the KSG. I think the only thing I even had unlocked on it was the red dot sight, and that's really all that I needed for it, so I'm going to be recommending attachments in this video that you see me not using. I just had this gameplay already recorded and it was very convenient to use. Anyway, the biggest difference with the KSG as opposed to other shotguns is instead of shooting actual shot, like an 8-round pellet that spreads, the KSG shoots slugs. It shoots one slug per shot, and for those of you that are overseas or not hunters or unfamiliar with what a slug is, instead of shooting those 8 pellets, a slug is basically one giant hunk of metal about the size of the shotgun shell minus whatever portion of it is powder. This was originally invented to bring down large game. You get like grapefruit sized exit wounds with this kind of thing, and it's also used against people because we count as large game, and it tears us up pretty bad. These are very massive damage bullets, and in real life you never ever want to get hit by a slug. Think of it kind of like a low range sniper rifle round. It's just about as damaging as getting hit by one of those high caliber sniper rifles, both in the game and in real life, but the range is somewhat limited because you're shooting it from a shotgun. The damage it deals in the game anyway is 200 to 75. What this means is that it will always kill between 1 and 2 shots. It'll even punch through walls and one shot kill people, which is something that a lot of the sniper rifles won't even do. However, at a long distance it'll drop down to 75 and you might take 2 body shots to kill, but you do have a headshot multiplier, so it is always 1 headshot to kill at any range no matter what. That's an insta-gib. If you're playing hardcore, it's just 1 shot to kill no matter what, and you can even wallbang people at the maximum range and drop them, because in hardcore you only have 30 health, so it is an extremely high damage weapon. It's not dealing the maybe extremity of damage that the R870 does, but it does it in one tight little package. I mean, that's more damage than the sniper rifle rounds do, so that's very powerful. It shoots at 75 RPM, making it the slowest firing shotgun, but that really competes with the 870 MCS, which shoots at 80 RPM. You guys would probably never notice the difference. It's a pump action shotgun. After each pump, you're ready to shoot again. Nothing particularly complicated about that. The maximum range on this shotgun is much greater than that of other shotguns. Your maximum range, the range at which your bullets are going to disappear, is 27.5 meters. After that, your bullets aren't going to be doing any more damage, and your long barrel maximum range is 31.5 meters. And with a silencer, your penalty is pretty minimal down there at 25 meters. What is perhaps more interesting is the one-shot kill range to the body. That's what everybody's going to be going for. You're going to be trying to hit people in the chest and drop them in one shot, and that one is about 12 meters, depending on how my math and range units go. I get a little bit more, a little bit less, but generally at about 12 meters, it's going to be a one-hit kill to the body. That's a one-hit kill to the toe, chest, head, neck, anywhere, no matter what, and it's a one-hit kill to the head at any range. Because of the low RPM, like the R870, it's a pump action shotgun. It has essentially no recoil because by the time you've pumped it and you're ready to shoot again, the gun's going to be completely stable. Of course it kicks on that first shot, but it shoots so slow by the time that you're ready to shoot again, it's going to be perfectly steady. So I really wouldn't worry about recoil on this weapon. It is more accurate with a laser sight, but it is most accurate when aimed down sights. This is the same as the other shotguns, but it operates a little bit differently. When you put a laser sight on the KSG, it tightens up your hipfire crosshairs, but instead of tightening up the pellet spread, it's working more like putting the laser sight on a sniper rifle. It just tightens up the random spread in which your slug can go in, so it is more accurate that way if you choose to hipfire it. And obviously when you aim down sights, your bullets are more or less going to be going where the red dot sight is. That is the best way to shoot this shotgun, though it is a little bit different than the other shotguns. Though I should give you a word of warning that aim down sight shots do not seem to be 100% accurate. They don't always go where you point the red dot. I'm not sure what the mechanic is, I'm not sure what the tolerance is, and I'm not sure if it's because you're moving, because you're standing still, crouching, prone, whatever, but the assumption would be, oh, it shoots one round like a sniper rifle. If I have a red dot sight on it, it's going to go exactly where I point the red dot sight, and unfortunately that's not true. It most of the time goes where you points the red dot sight, but sometimes it just decides to be uncooperative and go to the side, left, up, down, or somewhere else, so do be aware of that. The reload time on this shotgun is one shell at a time, just like the 870 MCS, and it is very, very slow. I would give you a reload time breakdown, but I know not many of you are going to use it because it has 14 rounds in the shotgun to start with. Not many of you are probably going to live long enough to even need to reload it, and when you do reload it, you're never going to be reloading it all the way. So just do bear in mind that it's a slow process to put bullets back in, though your magazine size is so big you won't have to worry with it. The knife speed is 1.32 seconds. I've previously been reporting that in percentages because I read the stat chart wrong and I was foolish, but it takes 1.32 seconds to knife, and it's not a heavy weapon, so your run speed is a normal 100%, no penalty there. Your raise and drop times are 0.65 seconds and 0.35 seconds, which are pretty standard for the shotgun class, and it has the standard aim down sights in and out time of a quarter of a second. That's how long it takes you to aim down your sights. With quick draw, I believe it'll be about half of that time. As mentioned before, you do have a very, very large magazine on this shotgun. It has 14 rounds in the chamber. I shouldn't say magazine, it's such a habit. But if you put extended mags on it, which I guess in this case would be like extended chamber or something like that, it can go up to 20, which is a pretty significant increase. If you're running extended mags, you will probably never need to reload this shotgun, but at 14 rounds to begin with, I never found extended mags to be particularly useful. When it comes to attachments, I normally run the primary gunfighter and put multiple attachments on. Like I said before, this is one of the first games I got with it, and I wanted to show you that it's useful without attachments. But if you give me my choice of attachments, I'm going to run a laser sight, quick draw, and red dot sight. That's because the laser sight's going to tighten up my hip fire box. Without that, the randomness of the slug makes it not very useful, but the laser sight tightens it up where I do have the ability to hip fire pretty okay in close quarters combat. Quick draw is a big thing because this shotgun's all about aiming down sights and shooting accurately to get those one-shot kills, and I want to be able to do that as fast as possible. And the red dot sight is just much, much easier to use than the iron sight. If you if you like the iron sight, if you're comfortable with it, if you can use it, that's fine. You can drop the red dot sight, but I had a tendency to like it. Long barrel is nice as well, but I can't add 4 attachments, and I felt that the red dot sight was more useful for me than the long barrel was, because the long barrel does add some range, but this shotgun has pretty incredible range anyway, and the range at which I'm going to be able to get those one-shot kills is more or less it's just too far away. If I ran long barrel and I was going for like long barrel one-shot kills, I would miss too much. If you want to run that, that's totally fine. It doesn't hurt the shotgun in any way. I just found the other attachments to be more useful. This shotgun is best used for mid-range one-hit kills. The other ones I'm going to recommend for close-range one-hit kills or close-range spamming. This one you want to go for those mid-range one-hit kills. That 8 to 12 meters, that 10 meters, you want to go for maybe that like 25, 30 meter one-shot headshot and troll somebody. You can do this. This is what I would describe as a skilled weapon. A lot of people say it's easy mode because they'll just run up and barrel stuff with you, but they'll probably just go one for one. They'll barrel stuff somebody and die. The skill to this weapon is posting up at mid-range and getting body shots, or long range and getting headshots, because it's kind of like a sniper rifle with a red dot sight, and if you have the skills to do that, this will be an extremely powerful weapon. That's what I tend to do now that I'm more experienced with it, and I do like it. The perks that I recommend are the same ones on the 870. You got lightweight, so you can run fast. Dexterity is a big one. Of all of these, Dexterity is the one that's an absolute must, because then you recover very fast after sprinting, which is what you're going to be doing with a shotgun, a lot of bum rushing. Toughness, also very important, so that you are not as affected by the gun flinch very much when you're shot. Your sights won't wobble everywhere. If you don't like lightweight, running maybe Flak Jacket or Ghost or something like that, or maybe pairing, Marathon or Unlimited Sprint, Extreme Conditioning with Dexterity is a good idea. But Dexterity and Toughness I found to be absolutely useful. Lightweight you might could play with other things. I just generally liked being fast. Well guys, that's all for this episode. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you learned something useful. I've got a little bit of plug for you here at the end. Gamma Labs is running a Black Friday sale today. They are selling their entire product line at 50% off. So if you've ever wanted to try G Fuel, it is now cheaper than it ever has been before. I think it's like $10 or $12 for the huge boxes or whatever. So if you're interested, I put a link down there in the description, and I put the URL up there at the top of the screen. In the next episode, I'm going to be reviewing the semi-automatic S12 shotgun, which I found to be more challenging than expected. And if you'd like to check out my previous episode on the 870 MCS, you can click either one of those boxes right there. And of course, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. Drifter out.